It is just for that capacity to invest in the rolling stocks that is remaining. And the same thing you have on the roadway. You are seeing all this downfall. That's not the way for public transport. Public transport is mass transit.
Yes.
So it's not as if Lagos is not using water we bet. We should not overestimate the capacity. If you have 5 boats moving at the same time, it's chaos. There's a limit as to, and that's where the effort now is to acquire bigger ferries so that you have less ferry. There was a collision, I think just last week or so, of two boats.
Can't they see?
No, no, we are in Amatan season. There's visibility.
Okay.
If you have bigger vessel, you save. These are what I meant by safer.
But don't we need to increase that capacity? Because the roads don't seem to be enough in Lagos anymore. Sometimes in every direction you face, there's gridlock.
No, I agree with you.
Because there are too many cars on Lagos roads.
Alaro, let me explain it to you. We should not just say water transportation. It won't take away traffic. Believe me. If you build more roads, you may not take away traffic. There are so many things involved in traffic systems management that takes away traffic. The way we walk, everybody goes to work at 7, 8, and we all face Third Mainland Bridge. It's the same way you face in New York. When you face the major highway, there will be logjam. The same thing in South Korea, the same thing in China. But if you have people who work in different times, you may reduce. Everybody works one shift, morning shift. Now, I keep saying this. The rail system, once that blue line and the red line works fine, the red line is there, but it's like an outdated line. If even it's the motorized equipment that are improved on, you need to pass through Agege and see Mushin and see how many people are on that rail. If it can be moving every 30 minutes, less people will be on the road. It will move more people than waterways. And we have the red line there, even though not the kind of gauge you want to have. The blue line is almost completed. There is a mixture of so many things. Water will be there, road will be there, because there are places water will not. And currently, maybe you need to know, the water transportation cost is huge. It's about 600 naira from Ikorodu to Lagos, the last time I know. I don't know if it has gone up. Whereas that same thing will take you by road, 200 naira, and you will spend more time. Whereas it will take you just about 35 to 45 minutes for the same journey. But don't forget, if I live in Victoria Island and I work in Ikeja, I don't see traffic.
True.
It's when you live in Ikeja and you work in VI that you see the traffic. So at times, our choices also compensate. In those climes where they are putting systems, people work and live. Where people live and work in the same place. Here it is not the same. So there are so many things that are involved. And I'm not talking out of water, but I'm just saying we must put everything in total concept. And we must develop the water transport from Badagry to Maichu to Marina. Develop it from Ikorodu to Oworonshoki to Marina. And at the same time, allow those people who live in Agege, Abule, Egba, Ota, Ibafo, and the rest to have their own mass transit system for road. Now, if you now put the rail that moves you from Ogun end to Lagos, that moves you from Okoko end to Lagos, the other road we now have is Ikorodu end to Lagos. You now have the BRT working superb. Then the other one will now be the Lekki axis. Put in a good transport system that moves you down.
So a holistic...
It's an holistic thing. It's not just picking one.
What about the interstate side? Let me go back to Mr. Omeje. Mr. Omeje, Mr. Okwefa talked about 5 things that need to be put in place to ensure that we have effectively safe roads. Good road design, vehicle design, behavioral change, legislation, and policy reforms. In all of this, across the country, advocacy, okay. Across the country, the issue of behavioral change seems to be a major one across the country. How can this be taken care of? Because it's an urgent matter.
Good.
Oh dear.
Hello. I listened to Mr. Okwefa when he was giving his analysis. And I just want to also take something from there, especially in the issue of attitudinal change. Now, no matter what you do in terms of making all these systems work, we need to change our attitude to the way we really use the road. In Lagos today, what you have is that in a typical home, there are about 3 vehicles that leave the home every day. The man carries his own vehicle, the woman carries his own vehicle, then 1 vehicle goes for the children. What is the vehicle occupancy ratio in Lagos State today? Everybody wants to go by his own vehicle. We see it as a class thing. And with that, we cannot really reduce this gridlock. The government have provided buses. The new bus was provided now that is even air conditioned. Yet, people are still finding it difficult to drop their vehicle, park and ride on those mass transit vehicles, buses that have been provided. And that is very key if we must reduce these gridlocks and all these waste of time and money we all experience in Lagos. So the issue of our attitude, the way we and the choices we make is very, very important here in what we are doing. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to react to this issue of speed limiter and the issue of private. I've raised this issue with FRSC, and I think we are reacting to failure rather than trying to do a change of attitude in the issue of speed limiter. I support speed limiter at level of fleet management for people with, at the level of articulate. But when it comes to private vehicles, there is no need for speed limiter to be enforced as compulsion. What we need to do, go and put the speed limits signs on the roads. Mark the roads and go on your advocacy. The level of compliance will increase. What we are doing is when we bring equipment to force people. What is the speed limit maximum in Nigeria? I went through our record with United Nations. It says 100 km/h on speedways. Now we are putting speed limiting of 80. So if I get to a place where the speed limit should be 30 and my speed limiter is 80, I will still speed. You get the point? So it's not just about speed limiter. It's good for the fleet management. The company policy says you can't drive more than 60. We put it on your vehicle. Commercial vehicles on highways. For Lagos, you put a speed limiter of 80. Where do you drive 80 on Lagos apart from Third Mainland Bridge? So the man will still overspeed in most part of Lagos. So the focus should be directed. Get state governments, get the federal government to put in the speed limit signs on roads. 1, 2, get the education clear. When they speed the speed limit signs, they will start asking themselves, you will check your speed. Go and try it. When you speed and you see a speed limit sign, you will look at your speedometer. And
instinctively.
So those are the things that will change, and that's what we did in Lagos.
Okay.
We put up the lane marking, we put up the signs, and people started, attitude, it will take 25 years if the infrastructure is not worked upon. It's not FRSC job to do that, but they must go to states, they must go to the federal government, they must educate state governments to do the right thing.
Now, Mr. Major, in closing, Sadiku Bola has tweeted to us, in other parts of the world, people go through driving tests to get their licenses. What is the process of getting a driver's license in Nigeria? Mr. Did you hear me, Mr. Major?
I can react to that. You said the process of getting a driver's license in Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's take it that you have not been driving before and you just want to start as a fresher. The first point of call is to go to the driving school. Now, when you have finished your tutorials in the driving school and the driving your teacher feels that you are now okay, he can present you to the VI for test. Then he issue you a certificate that he has finished, you can now go for test. Then you go to the VIO. You first fill the VIO. The VIO will now test you to validate what the school have done, whether they have done a good work or not. Now, if the VIO and finds you and finds you worthy, then you will now pay for that driver's license, which is just 6,350, and your form, you fill it, and the MLA will authenticate, that the Motor Licensing Authority will definitely authenticate your payment, and thereafter will go for biometric capture. It's a one-stop shop arrangement and it's a tripartite arrangement. The motor vehicle authorities are there, the VIOs are there, and the FRSC is involved.
Okay.
Your start point, if as a fresher, comes with the driving school, as I said. From there to the MLA, and of course the VIO before the FRSC. But if you have a license already and you are renewing, then you still need to visit the MLA and get your biodata imputed properly. Perhaps you want to your address and things like that. In the last time you were renewing that, you maybe your address have changed. You update your record. After that, update your record. We still in Lagos today. We still insist that people visit the VIO because of the experiences we have had.
Thank you, Mr. Omeje. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Omeje. Let me quickly come to Mr. Okpaife for his closing. One sentence in closing, please. We need to wind up now.
What I would say is that the Nigerian government, working through the lead agency on road safety, should embrace the safer systems, and we should be more focused and engaging rather than picking and reacting to faults. We should go for the precautionary systems.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Kayode Okpaife, former Commissioner for Transport, Lagos State. And I will also want to thank Mr. Hyginus Omeje, Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, who spoke to us via telephone. Thank you very much. Safe road in Nigeria is what this campaign is all about, and we urge you all to key into it so that we can reduce the number of deaths on our roads in time. Sunrise will return in just a moment with another very interesting conversation. Please join us.